Dominic Gouveia, and I run a lab here at UCT, and I'm also doing my postdoc. And I research in nanoelectronics, and I work with dilution refrigerators. As Gregory explained, we have a refrigerator that goes down to negative 270 degrees Celsius, and in Kelvin that's like 5 to 7, 10 millikelvin. Okay. Anyway, so I know some of you might think that I look like a mad scientist because of my hairdo and my lab coat, but really, I'm not a mad scientist. I am a scientist, but just a very untidy one because of my hair. So today I'm going to be showing you guys an effect, a phenomenon that's called the Meissner Effect, right? And before I demonstrate the effect, I would like to explain two very important ideas that are central to this effect, and that's superconductivity and diamagnetism. So superconductivity, in order to explain that idea, I would first have to tell you about what physicists do. So we study transportation, so change in motion. So transportation, you guys are very familiar with the term transportation. Some of you guys are going to go home on various types of transportation, right? Be it the car, motorbike, whatever. So imagine you are in a highway, right? And there's immense amount of traffic. The amount of resistance or the amount of speed that you can use to get through the highway is quite limited because of the amount of objects or other cars that are in the same highway as you. Now, that is what we call resistance in physics when we are studying the transportation of, say, electrons as opposed to the transportation of cars. Now imagine the highway is open, right? So there's absolutely nothing and you are the only person on that road. How are you going to hit that highway? Exactly, and how easy will it be for you to go through that highway? Extremely easy. So that's what superconductivity is. When we have materials that we cool down to a particular temperature, the resistance disappears completely, and it's extremely easy for us to transport electrons from one point to another. So that's superconductivity. The resistance disappears, and we are able to transport electrons or whatever object. In their case, I'm using an analogy of a car through that highway, extremely easy without any resistance. Now, the idea of diamagnetic, which is the other idea that I need to explain to you guys, is that when you have some materials that are magnetic, and naturally magnetic, and there are other materials where in order for them to be magnetic, you have to bring them in the presence of a magnetic field. Now, diamagnetic materials are those materials that when they do induce a magnetic field in them, they induce it in such a way that the magnetic field acts in opposition to the magnetic field that caused them. So we are talking about ideas of zero resistance and opposition. Those are the two central ideas that we're going to use to demonstrate the Meissner effect. So I'm going to need a volunteer, and I think, yeah, I'm just going to select. Can you just try and connect these two materials together and then tell me if there's any form of magnetic interaction between the two materials? None whatsoever, right? Okay, so she's in on the trick, so I need other volunteers. Okay, good. So, see if there's any magnetic interaction. None whatsoever, right? There's another one there. Okay, none whatsoever, right? Okay, so as a good magician does, he puts it in his pocket and he takes out something different, and then he starts off his magic trick, okay? But I didn't do that, I just, yeah. Okay, so this black material here is a superconductor, right? And when I cool it down, what will happen is it will have zero resistance. And then this here is the magnet, okay? This is going to provide the magnet source under which this superconductor is going to be exposed. And when the superconductor is exposed to this magnetic field, it is going to induce the magnetic field itself in opposition to this magnet, and then the two will repel each other. So in order for me to achieve that, I have to cool these two materials down using liquid nitrogen. So I'm going to put it in this cup, pour some liquid nitrogen in the cup, okay, and then just let it cool down. And then I'm going to pour some liquid nitrogen on this base here. Okay. So I continue cooling it when I take it out of the cup. Okay, so let's just hold that. Okay. So let's close that up. Okay, so what's happening now is that the material that's inside the is boiling off. Okay, so it's boiling. Let me try and get it. So they are boiling off. So coming cool down, they're cooling down. Okay. And in a sec, I'll take it out and I'll place them on this platform here. So let's see if I can start taking them out. Okay, so there you go. That's one of them. Okay. Okay, that's the other one. Okay, cool. So now I've got my superconductor material, my material which is acting as a superconductor. I'm going to take this glove off so I have a better grip and a better feel of the magnet itself. Okay. So, so I'm going to bring this magnet in the presence of this superconductor and watch what happens. Okay. So here you go. Okay, it's starting to go. And okay, there you go. So, are you guys seeing what happens? I'm feeling it's levitating. So the two defining force opposing. I can also just show a nice view. And as long as I keep the black material cold, it's going to keep on spinning and spinning. I don't know, if you guys like rims, that's a good way to make your rim spin. So here you can see, maybe I should go with this. There you go, look at that, it's floating. And if you want concrete evidence, maybe I should just use this object and then just pass it through it like that. See that? It's floating. So that's what we call the Meissner Effect. You can go on YouTube and then go and Google, search for Meissner Effect and then look at its various applications. But that's what I wanted to demonstrate to you guys. And now you guys can ask me what is happening, and I will tell you that my assistant here performed, she did a trick in the beginning that made this happen. But really, we are studying physics, so what's happening there, there's a balancing of forces that's happening, and there's a much more in-depth explanation as to what's really happening. So to keep it simple, I'm just going to tell you that this thing is floating as I'm seeing it.